Welcome to the third episode of Hope and Health Talks. I'm so excited to be able to share this topic with you because it's very near and dear to my heart. Today we're going to be talking about self-confidence. The reason why I wanted to talk about this because this is something that a lot of people struggle with at times, including me. I wouldn't say that I had low self-esteem because sometimes people try to pair self-confidence with having high self-esteem. But I don't necessarily think that they always go hand in hand. My thing of self-esteem is pretty much kind of like knowing your worth. You're not going to let anybody take advantage of you. You're not going to let people talk to you any kind of way. That's what I feel is self-esteem. Being self-confident requires you to believe in yourself and to be absent of self-doubt and self-confidence. So let's get into why people may not, or why you or I may not have confidence in ourselves at times, or not have confidence in ourselves at all. So I think that some of the reasons that we are not as confident in ourselves, one of my reasons is I am a validation whore. I hate to say whore, but throughout my life, I didn't need everybody's approval to put a stamp on whether or not I was going to be good at something or whether something was a good decision. I felt like I needed people to be in my corner about it. So if I had an idea for a business, or if I did a video about something, or if I created something, or if I had this crazy idea to do something that somebody's never done, or just anything that I wanted to come up with, I felt like I had to have people on my team that's like, yeah, that thing, yeah, that's gonna be nice. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Ashley. I think that's great. You're gonna be the best at that. You're gonna be great at that. That's gonna turn out so good. But when people didn't used to do that for me, or don't do that all the time, sometimes I start second guessing. This idea may be dumb. I don't know if I can do this. Are people going to support my idea, support my dream? I used to base that whether or not I had enough cheerleaders behind me, people that were agreeing with what I was going to do. But that doesn't mean you're not meant to do something. That doesn't mean you shouldn't build your self-confidence on whether or not you're fit or equipped to do something based on whether somebody agrees with you. Sometimes in life, and I feel like I have a spiritual relationship with a higher power, which has helped me through a lot of dealing with my self-confidence in certain areas. Sometimes in life, you'll have a voice speak to you. I'm not crazy, y'all. Or you'll think of an idea or a vision that was given to you, and it doesn't make sense to other people. They look at you like you're crazy. Like, you don't seem like the person that would be in the forefront. How are you going to be in charge of a company? You don't even have a degree. How are you going to talk in front of these people? You don't even like talking to people. But that does not mean that you weren't handpicked by God as the person that is supposed to do some of these things. When I've been reading through the Bible and stories of people that do great things and are very popular in society, who are remembered for a lot of things that a lot of people would not have done, they're most likely people that you would have never guessed to have done it. For instance, if you ever read the Bible, when God told Noah to build the ark, Do you think he had people agreeing with him to build an ark? He told them that it was going to rain 40 nights and 40 days. And people was looking at him like he was crazy. He probably was looking for people to say, hey, Noah, that's a great idea to build an ark. The meteorologist, there wasn't no meteorologist back then, didn't even say it was going to rain, but that's great. Because I know that if God said it, then it must be true. People was looking at him like he was crazy because it was not raining. How would he know it was raining? Why was he building the ark? He looked like a crazy person to everybody else. But do you think that stopped him from building that ark? Sometimes you have to believe enough for yourself. You don't need confirmation from other people to believe in what you're supposed to be doing, to believe that you have the capacity to do the things that you need to be doing that was purpose for you. And if you have a relationship with a higher power, you understand this. When you pray about stuff, or you hear this little voice inside your head, or you've had this dream that you've always wanted to complete, but other people may not think that you're capable of doing that. You don't have to wait for them to tell you that you're capable of doing that. You need to be able to convince yourself that you're capable of doing that. And you can do that by constantly reminding yourself that I don't care what other people say. I know what I heard from God is valid. I know that this is something that I really want to do, and I'm passionate about it. So with things that I'm not good at or not great at, I will work and become better at them. And He will send the people that I need to be great at it. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be an expert to be confident that I can do this thing. Because I can do this thing. Because I was meant to do this thing. It doesn't matter if I look like the perfect picture to do this thing. So, moving on. That's one of the reasons that you might not have the most self-confidence in yourself. Because like me, you might have needed people to validate that this was something that you were supposed to do. That this was something that you were good enough for, to be able to stand in that position to do whatever it was. Another reason why you may not be self-confident in yourself, because of, association with people who have not been good at it. So say you came up in a family of nobody did this thing. Nobody went to college. Nobody started their own business. Nobody was positive. Nobody was successful at it. So automatically, because you're surrounded by so many people who didn't do it, you're like, why should I be able to do it? Nobody in my family, none of my friends have been able to do this. We just not meant to do this. And that's so not true. You may be the first person in your family. You may be the first person in your friend circle that's brave enough to step up and do this for the first time. I don't know anybody in my family that ever started a nonprofit. Somebody might have, I just don't know them. But that doesn't mean that I can't do this. It doesn't mean that I can't do this. And I don't have to attach success with seeing other people around me not do it. That means that I can't do it. It doesn't mean that at all. Your purpose and the thing that you're supposed to do in life is tailor-made for you. Doesn't matter who in your family hasn't done it before, or who in your friend circle hasn't done it before. If you believe you can do it, then you have to put the work in, and you can do it. Being self-confident is not about what other people think you can do. It has nothing to do with what other people say you can do. It's what you believe you can do. It's what you believe you can do. Yourself. You should not be looking to other people. You should not be associating somebody's failures with that you're going to fail too, because it doesn't mean that. So another reason where you might not be self-confident, and this is something I also experienced. You could have been confident in that area. Like for instance, almost went 2 years without having a job. I went to school. I know I wanted to help people. I know this is naturally my gift to help people. I went to the social work school. I got my master's in social work. So I'm real psyched. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get a job. I know that I'm more than qualified to get a job. I naturally and compassionately want to do this work. Then I started applying for jobs. I went to several interviews. I applied to so many jobs and nobody called me back. Nobody would call me back. I would go on so many interviews and get so many no's. And I'm usually a bounce back type of person. Somebody can tell me no and I can still be like, they don't know what they talking about. You know what? I know that I'm meant to have a job. I know that I'm qualified for this job. But once you get like 50 no's, I don't think I got 50 no's, but once you continuously get rejected and it starts to make you look at yourself like, dang, am I really not qualified to get a job? Am I really not teachable? Am I really not meant to be a social worker? Why is nobody hiring me? Why do I keep going to these interviews thinking I killed these interviews? Like I did my very best. I did what I was supposed to do. I volunteered. I'm passionate about helping people. I can learn the stuff that I don't know. And I'm getting these calls. You know how you get, not even calls, they don't even call you when they don't need a job. They send you an email. They be like, I don't even remember what to say. We thought that you were a great candidate, but there were other candidates that were a better fit for this position. And you're like, what? How is they better than me? And it starts to make you question yourself whether you're good enough for the things that you thought that you were good enough for, and you start to doubt yourself and induces self-doubt inside of you, and you think that maybe I'm not meant to do this. Maybe this is not something that I should be able to do. And that's totally false. Maybe that's probably just not the job for you. When you're aligned to do something, then the right thing will come along. The job that I got after I finally been searching for a long time was one of the best jobs that I had. It fit my life for the time. If I had got one of those other jobs, then it wouldn't have worked out right. The job that I got allowed me to work from home and to work at the place. I got the experience that I needed to get the job that I have now. And I did not foresee the circumstances of my daughter having asthma and being in the hospital. So if I had had another job at that time, it wouldn't have worked. I probably would have got fired. But in the beginning, before all of those stuff happened, because I couldn't foresee what was going to happen in my future, I thought that it meant that I wasn't good enough for those type of jobs. After enough no's. Not in the beginning, I didn't think that. But that wasn't true. So no matter how many no's you get, no matter how many rejections that you get, you have to keep believing that what is meant for me is meant for me. If I didn't get the job, if I didn't get what I thought I was going to get, it's not because that you aren't worthy of it. It's that the Creator, God, saw some things. You didn't know what was going to happen in your future, what type of job you're going to need, what type of circumstances that maybe it wasn't the right time for you to be in that certain position. So just take it as a blessing. Don't allow it to put your confidence down. And even if you have to do mantras, even if you have to get up every day and just say, I am worthy. I am worthy of a great job. I am smart. I am brilliant. I am talented. God loves me. I love myself. I can do this. And you just keep working on stuff to build your self-confidence. I would say the last reason why, maybe two more reasons why you might not be as confident as you thought you should be. A life change. So I'll always use myself as an example. Before I had kids, before I was married, and I was single, my life was completely different. If I wanted to do things, I didn't have to ask anybody. I didn't have to pre-plan stuff. So life changes. The life change is now I have 2 other people I'm responsible for, and I'm also accountable for my husband. So through pregnancy, my body has changed. I'm not the small figure like I used to be. So when women know, pregnancy will wreck you. Pregnancy can do a lot to your confidence because you're used to looking a certain type of way. You're used to feeling a certain type of way about your body. You're tired. My first child, I lost weight like that. My second child, not so much. I don't know anything about being this size. This is the first time me being this size, and didn't really know how to own this size. Not that I want to continue to be this size. I definitely can lose weight, but you have to learn to love yourself, even if you don't look like you used to. That being for anything. Say you had an injury, or you got a disease, or something happened to you where it changed the trajectory or the image of the way you looked, and that really can play about how you feel about yourself. But what you need to know, what really matters is not your physical appearance, even though that can like kind of weigh on your confidence. It's really your character. Yeah, I'm a little bit bigger than I used to be. Yeah, you may have a sickness and it may make you weak and tired, and you don't feel like you're not as sharp as you used to be. Your body doesn't move like you used to be. It doesn't mean you can't get back there. And it doesn't mean you can't be confident about yourself while you're in the process of getting back there. You just have to continue to speak positive things into yourself. You have to set out a plan of what you need to do to be better. Don't base your confidence about yourself based on how you look, because you're going to forever be changing. Even if you don't gain a whole lot of weight, even if you don't have a disease, you're going to get older, and you're not going to look at 50 what you look like at 25. I mean, some people, like my mama, her black don't crack, so we be still looking good. But eventually, things aren't going to work like they used to work. Your legs ain't going to move as fast as you wanted them to. And those things might happen earlier than later for some people. But you still have to find a way to believe in yourself and be confident in yourself about who you are. Who you are is not what you look like. Who you are is what's inside of you. What's inside of you really counts. Your character, how you feel about yourself, your confidence in you, your love for yourself. You should do that no matter how you look, no matter what changes in your life. And I'm gonna be realistic about it. Sometimes you're not gonna feel the best about yourself, but you have to find some way, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through fasting. It ain't no love like God's love, because when you literally can't stand yourself, it feels like the presence of God just shows up and makes you love yourself. It really does. That's what I found. Or he'll send people in your life, and that's not saying that you need to be validated, at the perfect time to push you and to keep you going. So one of the ways that you can become more self-confident about yourself, this is something that I can do in areas that you're not the most confident in, that it's an area unfamiliar, or maybe it used to be familiar, but now because of life changes that it's not the same way anymore. You gotta do things scared. You gotta do things even if you're not perfect at it. You just gotta do it scared. So for instance, I started this business. I ain't never started a business before. That doesn't mean I know everything about it, but God made it so that the people that do know things about how to run a business, somehow I met them naturally, wasn't even trying. Person that had their own nonprofit and was successful for over 10 years or more. She's my coach, and I found her when I went through school. Somebody introduced me to her just because I was telling them about my vision, and she's been riding with me ever since. Shout out to Shalita O'Neal. Then Shalita O'Neal hooked me up with my media person, my social media person, Carmen, which understands my vision. She understands my ideas. And I made my own website at first, but Carmen took it to the next level. Like, it's great when you get people that get you. When I wanted to be a singer at one point, and I didn't know how I felt about singing in front of other people, I would just go around and push myself to start singing in front of random people. I even signed up for Sunday's Best. Even though I was nervous, I still did it. You have to constantly push yourself to be out of your comfort zone. You really do. That's how you become confident in something. I learned this from my husband. Like, sometimes I used to give up on stuff because I'm like, all right, I'm not good at that, babe. I'm not going to do that because that's just not my lane. But that doesn't mean that you can't be great at something. Just because the first time you flat iron your hair, you look crazy, don't mean that you can't get great at flat iron your hair. You just have to keep doing it over and over and over again until you are great at it. Just because you didn't do it well the first time doesn't mean you're not good at it. It doesn't mean you can't be good at something. In addition to that, a way that you can be self-confident is yourself. By getting to know who you are. Sometimes reasons people are not self-confident is because they don't know who they are. And you need to take some time figuring that out. If nobody believes in you, you need to believe in you. Be self-confident. We can do this. You can do this. Everybody have a great day.